Let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Oh. Right, so welcome to the Football Referee with myself, Emmy Hikins, and he calls me bruv.
And myself, Trevor Gear, and I call him Cuz.
Right. Right, so Pep Guardiola is a name that's been on most people's lips since he lost to Liverpool, closest rival. Was that at the weekend? Was that the weekend? Wasn't it? Lost to the weekend.
Man City, yeah, it was, yeah.
At the weekend,
Yeah.
lost by 2 goals, and he, I think they were like chanting "sack" in the morning. The Liverpool fans were like chanting "sack" in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
And he went like that, which is
Six leagues. He's won it 6 times.
yeah. So,
But also, he's go on.
yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, what's the way back for him?
Well, I mean, first of all, I actually think he has a good relationship with the Liverpool fans, believe it or not. And I think even if he gets jeered sometimes, or he's getting sacked in the morning, I actually perceive that there's a lot of respect for him around all the Premier League and indeed around football generally in this country. He's got a great sense of humour. He's a real character as well. But I mean, they showed a clip after the game the other night of, I think, last season, when they were sort of shouting things at him. When they start his gestures, he makes lots of gestures when the teams are playing, and the crowd, the opposing fans, sort of copy him doing those gestures. And in fact, they were singing a song to him last season, not a critical song, but in good part, I think. And he was sort of doing like he was a conductor and his baton and so on, and you could just see the look in his face of mischief. He's got that look about him. So I actually think the Liverpool fans, for the most part, respect him a lot. Now, strange things happen in football, and you predict something and it may not happen. But for the life of me, I could never see Manchester City, the owners, sacking Pep Guardiola. I mean, he's just too good. It is really interesting what has happened to the team, isn't it? Okay, people say Rodri's not been there this season through injury. I think Kevin De Bruyne has been injured. I mean, he did come on again the other day, but he doesn't seem to be the player that he has been. So if you take away those 2 key players, perhaps like most teams, it's like happened at Palace. We sold 2 of our very good players in the summer, and we've kind of nosedived a bit. So that does happen, but they don't seem in any way invincible now. Normally every week Man City are playing them, home or away, and you just think, well, they're going to win, and for the most part they did. But this is now, I think it's seven games without a win, and of those, it may even be 8, but of those there's only 1 draw and the rest are all defeats. Now, I think today they're playing Nottingham Forest. Now, on paper, they should get a win. But as people say, football isn't played on paper. And the way they're playing and their lack of confidence, perhaps, you never know. And Forest are actually doing pretty good this season for a team, unexpectedly so. And whatever happens to them, I think it's tonight, at Palace on Saturday, my team, I'll be going there again as usual, because we've got Manchester City. And what worries me, if they were not to win tonight, they will finish their bad run by beating Palace, and that would be annoying to say the least. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see whether they do beat Forest tonight. They should do, as I say, on paper, but maybe they won't in their current loss of form. But no, I don't believe Guardiola would ever be sacked. And he's actually made it clear, isn't he, that he wouldn't even consider resigning. He wants to go on. He's signed another 2-year contract. He wants to get them out of this bad run. I think it's possibly the worst run as a manager anywhere he's ever had. So yeah, I think he'd be all right. But yeah, when they were singing, you get sacked in the morning. He was sort of conducting them as he does, and they do it all the more. But no, he's a great character, I believe.
It's quite a contrast from what we saw last week, where
Soft Emma and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday. So join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom, Dr.
Conducting them as he does, and they do it all the more. But no, he's a great character, I believe.
It's quite a contrast from what we saw last week, where where we were concerned about self-harming. We're not saying he was self-harming, but he did come out to say something along that line, and we worried. But seeing him this week, even though he's still not come out of the he's still not out of the woods yet, he's a bit more cheerful.
So he seems, yeah.
He's seen that this week. Now the other issue that I was thinking about with the squad is Kyle Walker. Do you think that Rodri being injured and De Bruyne not being at his best, do you think he's really exposed what Kyle Walker is? Do you think he's really exposed his flaws? Do you think they were carrying him along? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think Kyle Walker, he's a naturally very good footballer. He's a good defender, going on the right side there, and he's always had this reputation for being very speedy, very fast. Right. And he's very quick. I mean, he must be around 30, I imagine. I don't know what his age is, but he's been around quite a long time, because he was at Tottenham for some years, wasn't he, before Man City? Right. So I think he's a very good footballer, and I wouldn't say he's been exposed. I just think the whole team doesn't look the same team that they usually do. But I would say Walker is one of the stalwarts who can be relied on to do his job. I would have said. They just don't seem right at the moment, do they?
No. Also, quite the contrary from what I was thinking. But anyway.
Yeah.
So we're moving on now to Manchester United. So, what's his name? Is it Ahmad? The
manager.
No, the little guy. The little guy that does all the running. What's his name?
Fernandes. Do you mean Bruno Fernandes?
No, it's a black guy. It's not being used very much.
Mainu. You don't mean Mainu? No.
Mainu's just back from injury, but there's another guy called Ahmad something. Anyway, he does this. This player reminds me of the French guy that was in Leicester City when they won the Conte.
Conte, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah. What's this guy? Is it Amad Diallo or something? Is that his name? Amad Diallo. Anyway, he was quite instrumental to a lot of the goals that was scored by both Rashford and Zexi. So he was quite instrumental. I'd say he had assists. Well, he assisted in about 3 of the goals at least.
Yeah.
Directly. And it just makes me think, why, if it's been there for that long, why didn't Eric Ten Hag, why didn't he use him? I mean,
did he not use him? Did he not pick him?
It didn't use him that much. It didn't use him. It didn't use him as much as they should. And then ZZ is suddenly just burst into life.
Soft Emma and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday. So join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom.